Hi everyone, I'm Rich Raj and welcome to DevXplore. So, so we have amazing speakers who are going to talk about Kotlin vulnerabilities and how we can implement push notifications. So without much over ado, I would like to invite Trishna. She is an Android developer and active community. He's working with actively in GDG Jalandhar community. So without much ado, over to you, Trishna.
Hello everyone, I'm Trishna, a member of GDG Jalandhar and an Android developer. So today I'm gonna talk about Kotlin. So let's get started. These are the topics that I'm gonna cover. So what is Kotlin? Kotlin is a programming language and it is mostly used for Android. So most of the percentage it is used for Android and some percentage for server-side applications. And Kotlin is statically typed. That means you need to specify the data type of a particular variable or function or anything. So it is environment free. You just like as Java, it creates bytecode which you can run easily on any OS, and it is general purpose language. You can use it for general purposes also. So these are some features of Kotlin. First one is it reduces the number of lines of code that is required, just like to create a constructor of a class or to write so many constructors, okay, if you need. So this reduces the code and it increases the readability. That means you can read it without any knowledge of programming. And the most important thing is you don't need to add semicolon at the end of the statements. So if you want to work on Kotlin, there are some requirements to fulfill. That is, first you need to install JDK and then set up the environment variable. And to program in Kotlin, you need an IDE. So I would recommend IntelliJ IDE to for a beginner to use it. And I hope you're all are super excited for what's going on next. Yeah, so let's start with Hello World. So as you can see here, just like if you are aware of programming, just like C++ languages, Kotlin is also Kotlin also it is like you need to have the main function just like the other programming languages. So for main function, to declare a function, we use fun as a keyword. And then in the body, like if you want to write anything inside the function, you need to add curly braces. And after that, if you want to print hello world, then you would use predefined functions of Kotlin. So here I've used println, and it will print the hello world. So if you want to print any sort of text, so you would wrap it around double quotes, okay? And then we have variables. So variable is nothing but to if you want to store any kind of data, any type of data, you would need a variable to hold it. Here, the first line var, if you want to declare a variable, so you would use var and then the name of the variable and then the type of the variable that you are going to use. Okay, so it can be string, integer. String is nothing but it's a text. Okay, so I'm assigning initial as a value to a variable a, and if and I'm printing a. Okay, so earlier you can see I have printed hello world within the quotes, and here I'm assigning just like hello world to a and then printing it. Okay, and in the third line you would see val. I'm declaring a variable using val, and then the name of the variable is b, and it is type of int. Okay, I'm assigning 1 to the variable b. So you would see there is two different types to declare a variable. So why is it? Var is used when you want to reassign any value. Okay, and val is used when you only have to assign value once. Okay, if you can see here, if you want to try it on id, you can just type the same code and check it whether the var a colon and then string is equals to initial, and you would go to next line and type a is equals to some string like final, and then print it. You would get the result as final. Okay, that means you reassign the value of a. But if you would see val b int is equals to 1, and then you would reassign b as 2 and print it, you will get an error because you can't reassign, or you can't assign the value for more than once. Okay, so this is the difference between var and val. And then we have loops and conditionals. So loops are nothing but if you want to iterate, or if you want to repeat the same thing, you would use loops. Okay, so here I'm declaring cakes. It's a list of cakes, the types of cakes, and then I'm using here for loop. So here in the for loop, cake is a variable that I'm gonna use to repeat the sentence or to repeat the statement, and it would like if you can see print ln, I'm printing it yummy. It's a dollar sign and then cake and then cake. So here dollar sign is used within the double quotes to represent a value of the variable. Okay, so here the value of cake can be carrot, cheese and chocolate. Okay, so if you want to specify that particular value, you would use the name of the variable preceded by the dollar sign. Okay, and then we have the conditionals, like if you would see in languages like c, c++, java, we have switch statements, switch cases, right? So it's just as the same, but we have when instead of switch cases. So when a variable x is 1, then print x is equal to 1. So when you assigns a value, you would use equal only once, and when you want to find out whether it's equal to something or not, you would use equal double two times. Okay, so here we are seeing when one is like when one is when the value of x is 1, then we print x equal to 1. Okay, so when the value of x is 2, then print x is equals to 2. Okay, if none of these are there, like if none of these are the values of x, then print x is neither 1 nor 2. Okay, and if you want to comment any of the code, or if you want to write an extra information, you would use black backslashes two times. Okay, and we have functions. So function, we have predefined functions, and we can also define the functions. Here it's simple, as I've told you that we use fun keyword to declare functions, and the name of the function is multiple, and inside it I'm passing a value, I'm passing a variable of type integer, and the function should return a value, and that is of type int. That is the reason uh, after the parenthesis and semicolon I've used integer int. Okay, and it will return x, like the multiple of 2. Okay, and if you can see, I have mentioned two different kinds, like you can use the first way or the other. It's the same. And as you can see, if you can see in other languages, it would require 2 to 3 lines of code. But as you can see in Kotlin, you can only have 1 or 2 lines of code. So this is the reducing the number of lines of code. And we have classes. So classes are nothing but just as we have studied in our school. If any of your teachers asks you which class are you studying, you would say I'm in third class, or I belong to the third class, third standard. Okay, so you are pointing to a particular class, right? So just as here, if you can see, we have declared a class named customer and another class contact. Okay, and then we declared two two variables of int and string type. Okay, that we want to pass ID and email to the contact class. So in the main function, we are creating or initializing an instance of a particular class. So it's just that why do we need it? Just to point out, okay, just to pointing, or you would say the particular variable will is pointing towards that particular class, or inside like the functions or variables of that particular class. Okay, so we have declared customer instance for customer class, and we declared contact for contact class, and we are printing contact.id. So before that, we are, as I told you earlier, that we are passing the value of int and string types. Okay, so we are like, if you want that id value of contact class, then you would just no need of anything. You would this variable contact, you would use it uh, to uh, to call, or uh, to uh, pass, or it's okay, we can say, like, if you want to use that particular value, you would call it by this contact variable. Okay, so here what we are printing is contact.id. That means we are telling the instance of contact class that we need the id of this that we need the id of the class of your class. Okay, and then if you want to update or change or add the data, you don't you just need to call that particular variable or function, and you can update it by just initializing the value. Okay, and we have null safety. So Kotlin is like, it has this amazing feature, that null safety, like you cannot assign null value to anything. Okay, So as you may know, in other languages like C, C++, or Java, we have the keyword called null. So whenever you want to you don't whenever you don't want to assign any value to it, you would just use null. So in this case, you can't easily you can't assign null value. For that, you need to add a question mark followed by the type of the data. Okay, because that says the compiler that it the value of this particular variable can be null, or can be the data. Okay, so we need to specify explicitly that this is a null variable or a null function, like that. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are initializing two variables, never null and nullable, of string type. If you can see the difference between these two, okay, in the first case, never null value is this can't be null, okay, and after this, if you want to assign null value to this variable, you cannot assign it because you didn't explicitly specified that you this value can be null. So for that, in second case, we have explicitly specified that we this value can be null. Okay, so this is how you specify it, by adding a question mark symbol followed by the string, I mean the data type. And after that, we are creating a function of str length. That means it will check whether the value is a null or not. Okay, so if it's a null and we specified it explicitly, then it will say it's a null. Okay, or it will just give the or if it's not null, then if it will give the length of the particular string. So yeah, I hope that you all are I hope that you all are excited to give it a try. So yeah, here I have curated some resources. If you want to check it out, then do type it in your tabs. Okay, http colon bitly dot bit.ly/kotlin101. Okay, and if you want to or if you want to start with the official documents, then also you're welcome. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Trishna. It was a wonderful session. Thank you. So now I would like to invite Ashwini Kumar. He is an active member of GDG Jalandhar, and he's gonna talk about risk and vulnerabilities in cybersecurity. And he is also cybersecurity enthusiast. So over to you, Ashwini.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashwani Kumar, a member of GDG Jalandhar and a cybersecurity enthusiast. Today I'm going to discuss about risk and vulnerabilities, and along with the AWACS top 10 vulnerabilities, and its importance. So let's begin. Before proceeding with the AWACS and the main thing, we should understand the basic like threat, vulnerability, and risk, because these terms are we can say that it seems like a similar thing. Okay, so but there is a difference between them, and we need to understand that before proceeding with the vulnerability assessment part. So threat is some kind of organization, or maybe the incident, or maybe some person who is having the potential to harm the system, network, or a web application. So we can say that is the threat. So taking the example, like of course, hackers, criminals, and the dishonest employee can be the threat to the company. Okay, so that is actually having the potential to harm your system. Not only this, or not only the person, but of course any another organization or another group that is having that potential to harm your system for any cause. That is the threat to the company. The next thing is vulnerability. Vulnerability is like a bug or maybe a weakness using which the hacker or the hacker or organization will exploit your web application. So understanding the vulnerability, you might have heard like there is a vulnerability assessment. So he had found some bug, some vulnerability, and using that he has exploited that. So this is the vulnerability, like software bug. And then the broken process, like authentication process is broken down. Then maybe some kind of SQL injection is going on. Then of course the human error is the biggest and the weakest one. The human is like considered as the weakest point in the whole chain. So social using the social engineering attack, we can the human is also vulnerable. And next, coming up on the risk, then we can say that the combination of the threat as well as the vulnerability, that results into the risk part. So the potential for this loss or the damage when the threat exploits the vulnerability. Of course, when the attacker is using the vulnerability to exploit that, and he has also done that, then that becomes a risk to overcome. Like that can result into the business disruption, loss of the privacy, loss of money, and maybe result into the legal penalties also. So to overcome this risk, we have to minimize the vulnerabilities in the web application, and of course threat will always be there. So of course we can educate the employee in the company that they should not do this, and we should make them aware about that. Okay, so the next thing is webs. Okay, this is something that makes everyone everyone takes attention to that. And OWASP stands for like Open Web Application Security Project. That is like online community that produces the article, methodologies, and documentation tools and technologies. So it is having everything about the vulnerabilities. When you search for the ovas.org, then you can find the like ovas is giving you the list of top 10 most common vulnerabilities that is going on in the industry in the present days. So every 3 to 4 years, the OWASP update that list, and you can find out like what are the most common vulnerabilities that like using which the attacker is attacking in your web application. And if you know that beforehand, of course you can patch that vulnerability, and you can move towards the 100% or approach towards the 100% security, of course. The next thing is, of course, then the top 10 vulnerabilities that are in the 2020 are like injection, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, XXC, broken access control, then security misconfiguration. That look, most of the people don't go for the configuration properly. So that becomes the vulnerability, of course. And XSS, of course, who knows the JavaScript, he knows he's able to do this kind of attacks, of course. And then insecure things, and then the using the component with the known vulnerabilities. Like if you are having some kind of information beforehand about the website or web application, then you can use that information in exploiting the web application, of course. Then the next thing we have, then the thing is why I am discussing this with the most of developers and the penetration tester, why it is having so much of importance in the security industry. Because we can see we are having we can see most of time developers go for the startup company. Like we can take the scenario, developer is going to the startup company which is not having so much of potential to pay for the security. So then it becomes the responsibility of the developer to patch that vulnerabilities beforehand. So how would you know that? Then it becomes the responsibility of yours then you can say na ki like I don't know about the vulnerabilities, I can't do, I just do the development thing. That is not the kind of like words you can say over there. So you should know the vulnerabilities. You should know like what kind of top 10 vulnerabilities are and what are the common one. If you are gonna secure and if you are gonna patch these vulnerabilities, of course your application will be secure to the 95%. Okay, so this is the important. And now I'm gonna discuss the few of vulnerabilities before. And like yes, the first, everyone knows like SQL injection vulnerability is the most common one that can be found in any web application that is connected to the database. And of course, if you're gonna patch this, you are gonna make your site secure, mostly secure. So, what is SQL injection? Before this, you must before going to this kind of vulnerability assessment, you must be having the knowledge of SQL. That will help you in understanding the database. So, if you are having the full knowledge of database, you can like use this SQL injection to make that to patch that vulnerability and to make your web application secure. So, SQL injection is a placement of the malicious code in the SQL statement. So like if we like we can see this slide in which you can see like this here we are having the attacker is like searching first that what the attacker will do, he will search for some kind of input kind of thing. Like if you are having some kind of form in which you are using, you're taking the input from the user, that would be helpful for the attacker even to inject their malicious code. And that is something like we should know. Okay, so this might be if you're not having any form and you think like we are not prone to this kind of vulnerability, even then you are wrong. Like you are having the URL then. Okay, so what the hacker will do, he will go for injecting the malicious code into the URL. And if your website is like vulnerable to SQLi, then of course your that hacker will get what he wants. Then using this command, like this is the basic command. And if your site is vulnerable, then he will use, he will use a union command that is also used in the SQL. So he will use the SQL command in his own way to exploit that. And that command will become like this. You can see here at the backend that command will run like this. And if that database is vulnerable, he will it will goes to the database that is named as users. And that will select the field username and password. And that all the password and username will be that will be selected and given to the hacker at your website. So that is like that is what the SQLi is all for. Then we can say like what are the prevention method. Then we can use the safe APIs. APIs has played the major role in securing this in securing from the SQLi. Like API has become the like firewall who will like firewall who is like acting as a firewall who will prevent these SQL commands like at the user end. Then of course, if your site is vulnerable, then make sure that you are not giving the much of your data to the attacker. By chance, if the attacker is get into your site with the malicious code into one in the one way or another, then you are not exposing your data as much as he wants. Okay, then you may separate your data from the web application in the with the help of web application logic. You may separate that data from database, and the front end will be kept at the different part, and the back end will be kept at the more safer part. So this is all about the SQLi. Then proceeding with the broken authentication vulnerability. Before that, I would like to explain authentication part. Like what is authentication? So proceeding with this, we can see like when you're like we can take the scenario like you are buying some kind of subscription of any account. And what you will have then username and of course the password. Then of course the username and the password, and you are sharing that password with the friend. But just change that scenario even like at the place of a friend, the attacker is there. And he's actually getting your username, and he's actually using your account in the more worst way. Like if he got that access, he will be able to control your account. He will be able to control your system even maybe. If he is able to like inject the code part, malicious code part, then he is able to get into your system also. So to minimize this, we can say like you should like not leave your login page, your admin page open. Never leave that is public. It should be always be private, and use that should be used only with the limited users. That is only the employee of the company. Then of course you can see these are some kind of folders or the pages that you have to kept private. Okay, proceeding with this, like we can say here, take the example like here the scenario is given, like attack what the attacker is doing. He's actually resetting your password. He said that I forgot the password and I want to reset the password. He's sending that and taking the post. Then that is going to the vulnerable website, and then what the website will do, what the server will do, he will give the token or the cookie or any kind of, if you take the like subscription part of your friend, then you, if you are having the OTP like coming to like your friend's account, then you can access that account for sure. So these tokens, these cookies, these OTPs plays the major role in the authentication part. So that's why it is said that never share these kind of things with anyone. With anyone, I said. Then the next that we have is the sensitive data exposure. Sensitive data exposure is like the with the name itself, it is clear like it is exposing the data that it should not do. Okay, so the sensitive data like username, maybe the password. If that site is actually using the credentials or like your bank credentials, of course, even that and that site is not secure, then of course even that may got revealed outside in the website. And more personal information can be like exposed with this vulnerability if you are having this kind of vulnerability in your web application. So here in the example we can see like using this burp suite software, we have seen that in this example the app admin is actually getting through the get request. He's doing the get request, and he's getting that into he's getting that into the public domain. So publicly that folder is accessible, and then of course if that folder is accessible, inside the folder whatever the data is there, of course the attacker will be able to access that data with the more ease. So this software actually helps you in intercepting the packets and then going for filtering the packets, then going for everything and getting the sensitive data to the hacker, of course. Then in the second example, we can see like the password is there, no doubt. Now he has changed the current password. Here, the current password and the new password is shown into the website code. So that is also the sensitive data exposure. Like if even if that data is your password is encrypted, but it will be very easy for the attacker to decrypt that, and the account or your website or the user account or everything that will be go into the hand of attacker. So these are the vulnerabilities that is more common. So we should be aware of this, and we should patch up this beforehand. I would like to end this with a beautiful quote that is 100% security is just a myth. Of course, all hackers meant that if you want to make your application 100% secure, that will not happen anyway. So yes, what you can do if you are learning about these vulnerabilities, if you are going for this vulnerability and you are patching that beforehand, of course you can make that your security part approach to the 100%. But still, the end part, that is the human part, human error, that could be exploited in the one way or another using the social engineering part. So that's why it is said that the 100% security is just a myth. So this was all about. Thank you for my sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashwini. It was a wonderful session, and it's really helpful for me as well as for the audience because it's all about the security and how we can secure our application at our end. So, next, I would like to invite Bharat, who is a full stack developer and active member at GDG Jalandhar. and we're going to talk about web push notification, how we can implement web push notification with the help of Firebase. So over to you, Bharat.
Thank you, Vrijraj. Hi guys, my name is Bharat Agrawal and I'm core team member and developer at GDG Jalandhar. Hope you all are great and doing well and had a great weekend. So let's start with today's topic. We'll be implementing the push notifications and seeing like how it works. So today we'll be seeing like what are the push notifications, how to implement the push notifications, what is Firebase, and how we can implement the push notifications using Firebase, and what are the advantages using Firebase. So let's start with push notifications. So I hope we all have the smartphones and laptops, etc. So we receive the notification in our bottom or in our notification bar. So that is known as a push notification. So let's explain in like something like push notification are small messages that can reach audience anywhere and anytime. While these pop-ups are appear in your notification section or somewhere else in the application also. So they're associated with the web browsers, applications, desktop applications, etc. So we can see like uh, it can be used on any platform. This is basically platform independent. We can use it in mobile, web application, desktop application. Even we can use in the games also. Like you see, hey Bharat, can you please? You are in ahead of 10,000 users. So that's the thing. Uh, so basically, push notification is like great marketing tool for the developers or for the organization, and it will help the organization to connect with their users. So basically, this is all about push notifications. Also, these push notifications are always a real-time notification, so you don't need to worry that whether your notification has been delivered or not. So to implement push notification, there are thousands of libraries which are available, thousand library and the service providers. Some of them are like push boots, push alert, Twilio, Airship, Pusher, etc. Like thing, list goes on and goes on. So, but they are paid or they have some limitations. So what to do? Google comes over here. So Google says, "Don't worry, abhi hum jinda hai." So we'll be seeing about Firebase. So Google introduces Firebase. So the Firebase is great tool for us to improve for the developers as well as the company perspective. So let's see what is a Firebase. So as you can see, like Firebase is a development platform that provides developers with a lots of tools and services to help them. Uh, it helps to provide a high quality and scalable applications. It helps your application to grow with a user base and help you to earn more and more profit as much as possible. And the most thing, you don't need to worry about your infrastructure. The Firebase will take care of that. Even you don't need to write a backend for your application. The database and all things will take care of the things. So now you are wondering like where we can use this Firebase. So Firebase can be used anywhere. The thing which will be possible. Like you can use it with iOS, Android, web, C++, Unity, and many others. So these are the more core platforms which we developers work on. So basically my favorite one is the web part. So these are some things, or you can say services which Firebase provides. So basically, Firebase motto is to provide a build better quality applications, improve the application quality, and grow and engage their users. So basically, Firebase is divided into three parts. So the first one is build better application. It will help you to write your business logic in an easy way with the help of your authentication. Like authentication is the most headache part for a web developer or a mobile developer. So it is a very difficult part to implement a real time and a great authentication system. So the Firebase will take care of this thing. It will be secure and you will not get into a hacking system or anything. Then the cloud functions, cloud file store, and there are numerous number of services which Firebase provides. Then the improve your application quality. So basically what happens whenever there is some like errors in that, then you have to like catch it manually or do something stuffs, and you don't even know like where your application crashes and in which platform it is crashes. So crash analytics, performance monitoring, test lab applications, and many other things which help your application to make it better and better day by day. And then to grow your users by sending push notification, that is basically cloud messaging, analyzing your user, making predictions like to whom you should deliver the next beta version or the alpha version. So as you can see, there are more than 25 plus services which Firebase provides. So all of these are free. So I'm like, आपके विचार कितने पवित्र है? So this is from me to Google, but someone says no, not everything is free. कोई ना सह लेंगे थोड़ा. It's working. So there is like lots of services, but we are not going to talk about that thing right now. So we'll be focusing on our push notification, which can be implemented using the Firebase Cloud Messaging. So, so what is Firebase Cloud Messaging? So you all might be wondering, what is a cloud? What is messaging? So we will be deep diving into it. So basically, Firebase is known as FCM. So FCM is a free. You heard it right. It's free. There is no limitation in that. So it's free cross-platform messaging solution that helps you to send push notifications to your audience. It can be in-app notification as well as the push notifications also. So it can be used in anywhere, like mobile application, web application, desktop application, your Unity, even your Unity. So we don't worry about implementing the core logic and the implementing handling about the servers and all. So you just need to build, and you have to come up with a good idea to implement the notification and things. So it helps you to engage your users and make them and make your application interactive. So this will be basically use of push notifications. So cloud messaging is a very handy service by the Firebase to use with it. So now we'll see like how we will implement those notification using the cloud messaging. So firstly, of course, you should have a Firebase account for that. So you just go to console.firebase.google.com or firebase.google.com to just sign up and create a project over there. So here are some steps we're going to follow to implement our push notification. And yes, we did it already. So at last, we'll show you some resources so that you can visit them and take a look on yourself, like how the push notification is working on things. So first step, like you need to create a project. Then second is register a web application. Then third one is copy config. And fourth one is you have to create some files like index.html. So it depends upon your application. So just this is a demo purpose. I've created these files. So don't worry about these steps. I will dive into each and every step more deeper. So let's start with creating a new project. So how will you create a new project? So basically, as you click on that create a new project, this screen will pop up to you. So you need to enter a project name over here, and you are good to go. And after that, it will take some 30 to 40 seconds to create a new project. So after creating a new project, you have to create a new web application, or you can say that register a new web application. So there are three icons shown over there: iOS, Android, and web icon. So you have to just click on the web icon. After that, it will ask you some details about your web application, like name, what can be its URL and other things. So just do that thing, and you will get like a key, or you can say a object of keys. So that's the thing. So after that, you have to like copy the CDN files which we are going to use in our application. So you can also Google it, like cloud messaging CDNs. But the handiest thing that you should go in the project setting and get into your under config, general config, then Firebase SDK snip, then going to copy your CDN file codes. So now we will see like how the codes look like. So basically, what happens? You have to like paste these two scripts, which will be you will get these from your project settings or from the Google messaging, by searching on Google CDN messagings. So you have to paste these two scripts inside your body tag or at the end of body tag. Then just I created a notification which helps you, which will basically create trigger a function which is named as some function. And this logic will be written in our app.js file as I already shown. So as I already told, when you create a new project, you will get a config file, some configurations, which will look like something like this: API key, auth domain, database, and other things. So we're not going to use each and everything about that. We just need to use the messaging ID. So you just need to paste these config files into your app.js file, and after that, you have to initialize your Firebase project, you can Firebase application, which the keys are belongs to. So just we are using Firebase.initialize app and then Firebase config. We are using this configuration, and after that we are initializing the messaging, Firebase messaging, and that's it. We are ready to good to go with the messaging, Firebase messaging. And after that we need some service worker. So as a web developer, all of us know what is a service worker. So let me give you a brief about service worker. So service workers are like a background thread, or you can say like which always runs in a background and we can perform some actions on that, like the push notification. To implement a push notification, we always listen to that push notification, whether the server is sending or not. So the service worker will comes over there. So we are just checking whether the service worker is present in that browser. If that present, then we are just registering the service worker, which is known as sw.js file, and then we are just printing. So ignore this file, and then we are registering. We are saying that hey Firebase messaging, use this service worker to send the push notifications. Like we will write some logic to receive the push notification in this service worker file. And if something went wrong, then catch is there to handle the stuffs. So after that, over here we have like installed our service worker, or we have registered a service worker, and after that we have to get the permission. Like we all see in your browser pop-ups, like permission pop-ups, whether you want to grant it or you have to reject it. So that's the thing. So just you need to we are just listening to notification service. So notification dot request permission. So this will return a promise. That's basically handled with the dot then block. If the permission value is granted, that means we have set the user has clicked allow. Otherwise, we do not have the access to the notification section. And if the permission is granted, then definitely we have to get the token, which is the token of the browser token, or you can say the push notification token, which will be help you to identify the particular user. What is the user is, to which whom user we have to send the notification is. So this we are getting the messaging dot get notification dot then, and it will also return a callback. So as the Firebase love Firebase loves the promises, so it will also return a promise, that is we are handling with the dot then block, and it will return a token in this uh, promise. So we are just consoling log the token, because we are going to use this token to send the notification to the user. And you can also store this notification token in the Firebase database, so that you don't need to again and again get the notification in from the console. After that, we have to just this is the end with the app.js file. So we are good to send the notification, or we are good to receive the notification. But what about the service worker file? How will we implementing to whether the push, if the browser receives the push notification, then how it will be shown to us? So to use that, we are using service worker file. As I already told you, the service worker file is always in the background thread. So this will be working in the background, always listening to our application. So just we are importing those two CDNs again, and this the configuration, initializing the configuration to us, and then again the same thing, like initializing Firebase application and then messaging. Up since this is a different thread, then we have to initialize the again and again this thing. So as we all know, the JavaScript is a single threaded language, but with the help of service worker, we can just use the say a background thread also. But to use that background thread, we have to initialize all the things in there again. So that's it. Now we are good to receive the push notifications. But what about the sending it? How we will be sending the push notifications to the user? It is a great question, right? So don't worry. So there are two methods for sending a push notification. The first one is you can use the Firebase cloud messaging dashboard itself, or over there you can just paste the token of the user, which we have got from the messaging.get token, and just the title of your notification, body of your notification, and then send it. So that's the method. And second one is by using some script. You can set the JavaScript or any type of script. So we'll be using the script. We'll be seeing how we can implement using the script. So again, we have to just copy those CDNs into our send.html file. So basically, as in the previous slide, in the step slide, I've shown you, I've created 4 files. The first one is index.html, which will be the front of our website, or you can say the front where the user will subscribe to our notification. The second one is app.js, which will be linked with the send.html as well as the index.html, so that I don't have to initialize again and again the Firebase messaging. And the third one is service worker file, and the fourth one is send.html. So send.html is used for us to send the notification to the browser. So basically, we are just importing those CDNs in our send.html file. After that, we are creating some fields. The first one is user token. The second one is title of the notification, and the body which we want to send notification. And also we are creating a button which will just send a notification. So this is some code which look like I've used a bootstrap template over there. So just a row, then some column which contains some three input and one button. So the input is the user token, the second one is title, the third one is body, and the button is which send push notification. So just I created another function called send push. So before going on send push notification, I would like to mention we'll be going to use uh, Firebase REST APIs for sending the notifications. So to use this REST APIs, we have like different of libraries such as Ajax, we have Axios and many others. But we are using the Fetch API, which is the inbuilt of JavaScript, or you can say inbuilt of browsers. So we'll be using that. So the Fetch API, it is an interface to fetch the resources from server or to send the resources to server. So this will be, it is a really handy and flexible. You can say it is really easy to use. So we have to just pass a URL, and the second one is options. So options contain some methods like headers, body. If the method is post, then we have to send the body also. So we can just insert the body into our option section, and then it will return a promise. So we can handle it by dot then, and if something went wrong, then catch is there to handle the our. After that, in app.js file, I have created a function, as I told you, send push function. So it will be like I'm getting the token from the document.get element by ID, that input build, and the notification title and notification body, and creating a JSON, or you can say creating an object which will contain two. Now that this is the important part. This should be two. You cannot change two. You cannot change these keys, because this is a Firebase keys which will help us to send the notification. Two means over here like to whom we want to send the notification. So that means basically the token which is we are getting from the input field which we are created over there. After that, the notification. So this will be a key. In this key, this is also a JSON, or this is also a JavaScript object which will contain some keys also, like title, body. So the name itself says like title, what is the title and what is the body. And after that, there is like key which is known as click underscore action. So this is the important key. So this key helps us to like tell the notification, or you can browser when the notification will be clicked, then where we have to send the user. The slash means the root of my website, like Bharat, iambharat.me, then we have to send this to that iambharat.me. So that's the thing. So after that, we are creating the options. Like as I already shown you, the fetch requires two things. The first one is the URL. The second one is options. So we are creating that options object. So option objects had some method, the keys, which is like method. The first one is method, which is obviously the post method. We are using the Firebase REST APIs. And after that, we are using some headers. We are sending some headers. So now the important part comes. We are using the authorization. So the authorization means you can say like there is a key which will be identified by the uh, Firebase APIs that yes, this project wants to send notification to this particular user. So this will be generated using your in your Firebase account. So you can just go to your project settings. After that, in the cloud messaging part, in that you can see the server key. So the server key will be used over here. The key equals to. And the second one is content type. So it is obviously the JSON application slash JSON, since we are using the REST APIs. After that, we are sending the body. So this we have to stringify that body which we already created. This body, we have to stringify that, as the servers only understand the strings. So just we have to send the body in the form of string. So just we are stringify that JSON into in the string. After that, we are just sending this notification. So to send the notification, we are, as I already told you, we are using Google REST API and the fetch to send the notification. So I will just make a post request to https://fcm/.googleapis.com/fcm/send. So basically, this will send the notification to our browser. To whom it will send? As we have seen in the body part, we have mentioned to that particular user, it will send a notification, and that it will return a promise. So to handle the promise, we have dot then. So we are handling dot then, and just we are converting that that the result will be a like you can say a stringified thing. So we have to convert into JSON, and after converting in JSON, we are just again JSON will also return a promise. So we have to again handle with the then. After in then, we are getting the data. Another thing is if the data gets failure, data.failure equals to 1. That means the token has been expired. Now we have to generate a new token. So the thing is that the messaging.get token will generate a token, but it will have some expiry date with it. Expiry time, you can say, it will be like not it will not shorter time, it will be longer time, so it will have a expiry time. So just you have to always check first whether the token has been expired or not. If expired, then you have to again generate the token and send it to there, and if not, then we just alerting that successfully sent. And if something went wrong, then catch is there to handle a request. So that's it for our code part. So now I'll show you some resources where from there you can learn the things, or you can just get started with the Firebase push notifications. So I've created a demo part, so you can just visit my GitHub repository, GitHub link, or you can visit this GitHub repository link. You can just use tinyurl.com/GitHub push, or you can just visit to Firebase documentation, which is like Firebase messaging documentation. And if you want to like get how the things works, so I've also created some live demo and hosted in using the Firebase itself, Firebase hosting. So I created some demo for you. You can visit these URLs. The first one is to receive the notification, and the second one is to send the notification. To send the notification, you have to pass the notification token which you have received from this in the console you received. So you can use these resources to get started with and like learn more things from there. And if you miss anything in this session, then don't worry, I've also created a Medium article for that, and it has all the things which I've covered in this session. So it will also I also explained each and everything over there. So just you can visit this Medium article and learn the things. So any question, guys? I'm open to questions. So ask any question. Okay then. Is there any question? Okay then. Then it's time to leave, guys. Bye, guys. That's it for the session. And hope you all are great and having fun. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, Bharat, for the informative session. It was really amazing to know about all the features of Firebase and all those services which are provided, and for sharing the information and the demo part, so that we can implement that push notification feature in our website. So thank you so much for that. Can we have the next slide, please? It was really awesome, and I was thrilled to see the level of interaction in the chat box. Everybody was talking about so many things, and like I was like, oh my god, are these people know each other from like before, and or like they are just making friends here in the chat section. So that was really awesome. I just had saw some questions regarding that. Okay, if you want to be the part, or if you want to get a connect with us on the WhatsApp or something, please feel free to ping us at gdgjalandhar@gmail.com, so that we can add you in our WhatsApp group where we share information, and where we connect with each other very frequently. Also, I would like to talk about something which is coming up and which is really just 5 days away. That is DevFest India. If I am not wrong, many of you were there with us at DevFest Punjab last year, or maybe at DevFest Jalandhar last year. So this year, as we all know, that 50 plus GDG communities from all across India collaborated to have one DevFest, and to make sure that we are enough, we are here to share, and we are here with all those things to solve the solution, to solve the problem which we are facing day to day. So yeah, DevFest is here, and that is from October 16 to 18. If you have not registered yet, feel free and hit the button at devfestindia.com and register for the same as soon as possible. If I'll talk in detail about that, okay, what DevFest will consist for you. So there are so many things planned for you. If you are web developer, Flutter developer, and even if you are like a cloud enthusiast, ML person, or maybe you are very interested in mobile like Kotlin and all. So the place is for you. We conducted sessions today on basics, that okay, basics of Kotlin, basics of Firebase and all. So that was just to make sure that, okay, if you want to be the part, or if you are really excited to be the part of DevFest, we have something to like to serve you in the plate. So there, if I just talk precisely about WebTrack, you'll be able to build the application from scratch. That is a Pokemon application, and at the end, it will be you'll be able to set the performance. You'll be able to monitor the performance by deploying it in on Firebase. If you are mobile enthusiast, you would be able will help you out to build the clone of the very famous Book My Show app using Kotlin, and same for ML, Cloud, and Flutter. So feel free to register at devfestindia.com, show your love on DevFest channel, and join us from 16th to 18th October for DevFest India. With that, I would just say thank you so much for being the part of DevExplore. I hope that you explored a lot on those three technologies, and we would let's just stay safe, stay connected. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great day ahead, and see you at DevFest. Thank you.